Hey, how good can you swing it here at Topgolf Jags Report Live? Chris Conley here. Hey, this is the only golf course open on a rainy Monday in Jacksonville, and it starts right now.
This is the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
What we got? Hard count. Hard count. Goal line, goal line.
Well, there's a lot of not-so-great things to say about the Jaguars' defense, but they did come up with some big stops. That was one of them down near the goal line. A.J. Boye mic'd up, pretty fired up about it. More of that on Jaguars.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jags Report Live on CBS 47 every Monday here at Topgolf in Jacksonville. Brent, Martineau, Dan Hicken, Chris Conley will join us in just a moment. But the big thought coming out of a 34-27 loss to the Carolina Panthers had to be a defense that we've relied on around here in Jacksonville for a few years now.
Yeah, but we didn't rely on them yesterday. They did not come through for the Jaguars. And 285 rushing yards later, Carolina had a victory. We know Christian McCaffrey's good. And the big talk today in Jacksonville, obviously, is what happened. Was it the scheme? Was it the players? Was it just McCaffrey, who's an unbelievable player, an MVP candidate? But the Jaguars seemingly could not slow down number 22.
Well, my thought always is you can point to the coaching right away, but it's a player's game. And I think they got beat up by some inexperience there at the linebacker position, maybe Quincy Williams, maybe some other guys, and they just missed some fits. We heard it, right? Fits. That's what happens when you give up a lot of yards on the ground. It's cliche in football, but probably true as well. Doug Marrone talked more about the poor run defense today.
Not a lack of effort from the players. They're really playing hard. It's just a matter of really talking about this week about, hey, let's get back to the fundamentals. Let's get back to the little details. It's not scheme. It's not replacing guys. Sometimes as complicated as the game is, the answers are simple.
So we're seeing a seismic shift potentially here in Jacksonville where everybody was like, defense. Can the offense score any points? Well, now all of a sudden the offense moving the football up and down the field, scoring some points. The defense against Denver came up a little short on that last drive. And then yesterday we welcome in Chris Conley, Jags wide receiver. And we're going to take you right to the end of the game, Chris, because you guys had a chance despite 3 turnovers and a lot of things that didn't go your way. That last drive, your only catch of the game, was a good one.
Really that's all you can ask for is to have an opportunity to win the game in the fourth quarter. The offense had a drive there at the end, really to keep us in the game. Just came up short. But, you talk about all the things that happened throughout the course of a game. Turnovers, plays given up by a defense, special teams really needing to come up with something and not being able to find it. But being there in the fourth quarter and having opportunity to be in the game is huge.
I have a question for you. So I'm watching the end of the game, and you're running into the end zone, and the defensive back is playing dance with you and is holding your arm down like this. I mean, I know they let the Hail Mary stuff go, but you got to give you at least an opportunity, right?
No.
I mean, I saw Doug Marrone say he's got his arm.
You get towards the end of a game, and, when you've been playing long enough, you just know that none of those calls are going to come.
Right.
You got to do your best to just fight through it.
Right.
They let you push, too.
Okay.
So maybe a little bit more pushing needs to be done on my end to make those catches happen. But at the end of the game, they just let you play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you made a heck of an effort. And effort is something, obviously, you're a football player. You're a professional football player. It's always there. But are there some games where you kind of look at it and you're like, man, we left it all out there. That was a long football game. You have 3 Hail Marys at the end. Your rookie QB takes you off the 5-yard line late, like you said, gives you a chance. And I just got the sense being in Carolina that that was almost like a galvanizing effort that you guys had, even in a loss.
You saw the guys walking off the field yesterday, and there was just this sense of, hey, it was everything that we had effort-wise. But mentally, we came up short. We had a lot of issues, a lot of errors, a lot of unforced penalties that we had that just came up, and they bit us in a big way last night. And you can't have those in these kind of games that are close. They're decided by one possession,
right,
like this game was, and every single yard counts. So we came in today, we watched the film, and the guys, we really looked at ourselves in the mirror and said, hey, this team has a lot of talent to be able to overcome those mistakes. But imagine how good we could be if we don't make them.
Right, and listen, you were pretty good yesterday. You scored a bunch of points, 27, seemed to be clicking. You got points when you needed to. And we've also started to watch the development of one of your colleagues, your teammate, DJ Chark. This young man has really grown in his second year. I mean, last year he was a Pro Bowl gunner. I mean, that's what he was really.
He was good on special teams.
He was great on special teams. This year, though, my goodness, he's playing some good football for you right now.
Chark has done a great job of not letting the game get too big for him, not letting the game be too fast for him. He's taken everything in stride. In each game, he's really leveled up just a little bit. We have these conversations during practice. We have these conversations after games, and all I say to Chark is, hey, this is who you are. Every game, you're going to have to approach it a little bit differently. The defense is going to play a little bit differently. Mold your game and allow it to elevate in that situation. And he did that yesterday, and I'm hoping that he continues to come into work because he will continue to do that.
I feel like if you threw a pass to the moon, he'd catch it right now. I mean, is he in a zone, or do you see that at practice?
He's definitely
where he
got the hot
everything?
hand.
Yeah.
DJ Chark's definitely got the hot hand, and there's a connection going on between him and number 15.
Yeah.
So you can sense that, too, as a guy who's played in the game.
I can 100% feel it.
Yeah.
You can see it in the huddle. There's this sense of comfort that Garner has with him, and as long as you can use that and make him comfortable and be able to move the ball down the field, you want to feed that.
What do you say? Like, wait, throw it over here, man. Don't wait till the last minute. Throw it number 18.
That's just the way that the game works.
Yeah.
And if our team can be successful going to that guy,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I'll do whatever you ask me to do.
You ran a lot of routes yesterday. Did they ever measure how much you run during a football game? Because you had to be dog tired, all right? I mean, I watched
64 snaps.
Yeah.
64 snaps in the skill position, only second to DJ Chark, running 67 snaps last night. A lot of yards on our legs.
At the end, you're just running down the field.
But at that moment, in that last drive right there, when you're really spent, there's just an extra gear, a little bit of an extra gear, and the guys running down the field to try to make that last play.
Right.
We had a little bit of wind left.
How good is Chris Conley on TV breaking down the game? And, of course, the Saints are upcoming. We'll talk about it in just a couple minutes, but we think this guy's pretty good on TV, too.
Marcel?
I think so.
Okay.
It's time to go to the neighborhood, Marcel Robinson's neighborhood.
Can't we all just get along? Apparently, we can. These two superfans indulged in each other's company for the entirety of the contest. That's right, peace, my brothers. The Carolina Panthers added some names to their Hall of Honor. 4 great Panthers, including former wide receiver Steve Smith Sr., were honored before the game and at halftime. Yeah, I know they're members of the opposition, but we'll give them a mention. But that's it. Can't forget about our You Lost Fam award. Not sure I'd be sporting an Atlanta Falcons jersey right now, especially in Panther country. But I can appreciate a good troll. Buddy with the Saquon Barkley jersey? Not as flagrant. Hey, at least it's blue. The winner, though, my man hanging out in the casual throwback Philadelphia Eagles cutoff hoodie. Now you know better than that. These neighboring spectators take the term cheap seats to a whole nother level. Now, I've heard of the nosebleeds, but my goodness, I hope they've got some military-grade binoculars. Hey, at least their food is free. Next week, we're back at home to take on another NFC South foe. The Saints come marching in. Let's hope this time next week, we're talking about a Jags win. Marcel Robinson, Action Sports Jags.
All right, Jacksonville, get ready to rev it up. We're going to take a look back at that game yesterday. We had some fun in the stands from Duval. That's coming up next.
Hey, thanks for hanging with us. Jags Report live every Monday at Topgolf. Come on out. Meet Chris Conley and more Jags players. And here live on CBS 47.
You're watching the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys.
Dan, it's your favorite part of the show, man. Not eating.
No.
Oh, that part is too.
Well, I enjoy that.
It's time to hop on a ride and rev it up.
It's time for Rev It Up, powered by Adamek Harley-Davidson. Get out and ride.
It's loud in here in Charlotte.
Yes! Go Jaguars! Duval!
Are you ready? Let's go, Are you ready?
Allen pump fakes in trouble, and he goes down. Josh Allen with his 3rd sack of the year. He'll hand it off on this first drive, and Unique Ngakoue throws down Christian McCaffrey.
It's my defense. Those guys, they were making the right rushes and flushing with the quarterback, and I got a chance to get back there and just kind of make some plays.
They want to go quickly. Allen is decked. Ngakoue with the sack.
You want to have even more energy when you're down.
You've seen this connection between he and DJ Chark. who's just fantastic.
He's nothing. No. But DJ, he's grown a lot.
People will be surprised by you around the league. Are you surprised at all by how well you've done the first 5 weeks of this season?
First down and 10. I'll play fake to Fournette. Minshew looking deep for Chark. He's got him. Touchdown.
Hell no.
Minshew pump fake. That fires end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Chark again.
You know, it's football. That's it.
All right, good to see DJ Chark play. Well, look, football's a violent game, man, right? That's one thing that we know, and we got some bad news yesterday, didn't we?
We did. Here's the injury report.
This injury report is brought to you by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Yeah, I really thought James O'Shaughnessy was starting to break out, having a nice first month of the year. Houston, John DeFilippo's offense, Gardner Minshew finding him, and then goes down with an ACL out for the year. Hate to see it, huh, Chris?
Yeah, that's a tough situation. Whenever someone goes down with these season-ending injury, it's tough. But, the guys in the locker room really came around James, let him know, and supporting him, letting him know that he's a part of this team no matter what. Now begins the road to recovery. I talked to James last night. He's in good spirits, and we'll just be with him throughout this process.
I just hate it in football. It's always those non-contact, right? That was before he got hit. He looked like he cut, and I'm sure he heard it pop, and obviously pretty quickly if it's the ACL.
Yeah, it's a tough deal. Playing surfaces, these cleats, some of these things are unavoidable.
Yeah.
And, James was having a really good game, and that's just one of the things that you hate to see.
All right, we'll see if Josh Oliver can jump in soon, come off the injured list, and get into a football game for the first time in his rookie season. All right, it started with Minshew Mania. Then there was Minshew Magic. I love it. I think it's great. The mustaches, everything's everywhere. But it's about time we just say the guy's a good football player. I mean, how many weeks does he have to do it in a row where you're like, you're a believer? I know you guys are, but I think everybody else is.
I think everyone in the locker room already knew what Minshew was capable of, and we're allowing the world to revel in that and enjoy it and have a little bit of fun with it. But, we've believed that for a long time, and the sooner that people outside start to realize that, the better. Gardner has just a tremendous amount of ability. He has a tremendous amount of confidence, and if you can put those two things together with some football IQ like he has, it allows you to go out there and make a lot of plays.
He threw for 374 yards. He was fantastic throwing the ball, but the turnovers, 3 of them yesterday. Are those rookie mistakes, something you got to clean up? How do you handle that part of it?
You come in and you look at the film, you see what the cause of those is.
Right.
You work on your ball security going into the week, and you know that now there's a little bit of blood in the water. Mm-hmm. When teams see turnovers like that, they really game plan to try to come after you. Mm-hmm. They try to contain you in the pocket, cut those corners and those edges, and come after the ball. So now we have to have a lot of awareness when it comes to our ball security and protecting that football.
Still pretty impressive. Just 1 interception versus 9 touchdowns for Gardner Minshew. You know what else is impressive?
What?
The leading rusher in the AFC.
Yeah,
Leonard Fournette did it again.
Job,
again, this team's going to win football games if Gardner Minshew plays the way he has, the receiving corps does what they're doing, and Leonard Fournette runs for 100 yards a game. You got to like what you see out of 27.
I'm loving it. Every time that Leonard can have a game like this, it really just allows the coverage to soften up, gives us more looks on the outside. Defenses really can't disguise their coverages. They have to roll early because they have to be there for that run support. The offensive line has done a great job of giving him some lanes to run through, and Leonard's doing what Leonard does.
More than 100 yards a game, right? He's over 500 yards.
He's over 500 yards. Really good
stuff. Good, and you got to be happy for the young man. After he had a tough year last year, going through some tough stuff, and he made some changes in his life, and now he's having some success. Good for him.
By the way, Jaguars.com put out a documentary today on it.
Yes.
Pretty cool stuff on Leonard Fournette if you want to check that out after you check out this show, of course. When we come back, more with Chris Conley. We're going to go a little outside the Jaguars once again. We've already talked Star Wars and surfing.
Yeah.
But what if you can't play in Athens? Where else would you play in the SEC, maybe? We'll go there next.
Unfortunate he never got
You're watching the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Last time he did this, it was good, and that's pretty good again. Chris Conley, he can swing it. But does he like baseball at all? We were just wondering. Because what happened, Dan? You just got all excited.
Well, I'm a Mets fan, so I'm not a big Braves fan. Sorry, a lot of Jacksonville. And St. Louis won the game 5-4, so we go back to Atlanta for Game 5, the all-deciding Game 5.
Hey, this is Jags Report Live, by the way. We're talking football and a little baseball. Brent Martineau, Dan Hicken, Chris Conley, Jags wide receiver. But you can rub it in Dan a little bit because you were in Kansas City when the Royals won. They might have beaten the Mets in the World Series.
I may or may not have a custom Royals jersey in my closet. That, says Conley.
Oh,
but I was there when the Royals won it. It was electric.
Fun, right?
It was awesome for the city.
Yeah.
Great for them.
That's really cool. All right, let's talk some more SEC football. I think we have an update on the standings. Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Gators.
We're headed for a collision course showdown.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Amp it up.
Ticket.
Make it huge.
Yeah. You guys handle Tennessee, and you have South Carolina this week. The Gators go to Death Valley for a night game. That'll be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Where would Chris Conley – you played in a lot of these venues. Which one did you enjoy the most besides Sanford Stadium?
I really enjoyed playing at the University of Tennessee.
Oh.
Not because the stadium, not because of the colors.
Rocky Top?
But because, when you're in Rocky Top land, you got over 100,000 people there.
Yeah.
And it's just great to see 100,000 sad people leave the stadium. It's just great. I got used to that during my college career. Some of the Georgia guys are getting used to that right now. It was a great venue. Deafening, but after a couple quarters, it got pretty quiet.
Did you sing Rocky Top at all? Because I think yesterday Gardner Minshew was singing Piano Man on the bench.
So, yeah, we had this tradition at Georgia. Whenever it was Tennessee week, they would just play Rocky Top nonstop.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the building, in the academic building, when you were at practice, when you were in the locker room.
All right.
So you heard Rocky Top as much as you never wanted to hear it in your life. So by the time you got to the game, you couldn't help but sing it.
Right.
And so even when the game was over, good old Rocky Top. Woo. Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Yeah, wow. We won't send that to Athens. The Georgia fans might not like that.
Okay.
That's okay.
They'll be all right.
It's right if they look up the record, and especially Saturday's performance, 43-14. Let's get back to the Jags, right?
Yeah.
And your unsung hero for the week. We asked you to pick one, and you've got a good one. You're going with the kicker.
Josh Lambo has been lights out, and he's been everything that the Jags need right now. He's been automatic. And he's been automatic in pressure situations.
Lambo-matic.
As long as Lambo can do that and help us put points up on the board and control field position with those kickoffs, Lambo has been everything that the Jags need in the special teams.
You know he's 50 for 53 since he's been with the Jaguars?
Unbelievable.
He's missed 3.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
94%.
Right.
Incredible.
Lights out.
Hey, let's throw it back to the Action Sports Jax studios right now. We're going to bring in Stuart Weber with more on the Jaguars' loss to Carolina 34-27 on Sunday.
25 years after the Jaguars and Panthers made their way into the NFL, meeting back up for the Silver Anniversary Showdown. Of course, as you know, the Panthers coming away with that 7-point victory on Sunday. A big part of that, Christian McCaffrey, number 22, was fantastic. How about 237 all-purpose yards and finding the end zone 3 times? And Jaguars defense could not stop McCaffrey, really anybody running the ball for the Panthers. 285 yards rushing allowed by this Jaguars defense. Still, some positives to take on offense for Jacksonville. You talk about Leonard Fournette, DJ Chark, Gardner Minshew, all having great numbers statistically, especially if you have them in fantasy. So keep an eye on those guys. And the Jaguars only fall 1 game behind in the race for the AFC South. Of course, the Texans with a big win over the Falcons. And the Colts, they beat the Chiefs. Not sure how. Mostly they limited Patrick Mahomes and did a good job of doing that. So the Jaguars will get back to work and take on the Saints next week. From the wall that tells it all, Stuart Weber, Action Sports Jax.
Yeah, what about those Saints? They're looking pretty good. So is Teddy Bridgewater. We'll talk about NOLA coming into the bank on Sunday when we return.
Yeah, really big game for the Jags. We'll talk more about it from Topgolf here in Jacksonville. Jags Report live on CBS 47 with Chris Conley. Thanks for hanging out on a rainy evening.
You're watching the Action Sports Jags Report live. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys.
Fans were awesome in Charlotte, man. I went to that party. Over 200 Jags fans made the trip to Carolina.
He was out partying while you were getting ready for your games.
Hey, Dan.
That's how it is.
Dan,
hey, I got him finally.
How about giving me an umbrella tonight?
I took some shots.
I mean, come on. Welcome back, everybody. Jags Report Live. You can take a shot at me if you come out on Monday nights. A lot of people wouldn't mind doing that. Brent, Martineau, Dan Hicken, Chris Conley here on CBS 47. All right, you got the Saints coming up. Michael Thomas had a huge day. What a talent this guy has become. What do you think about his game?
You know, this is a guy who can do it all. He can catch the ball. He can run with the ball. He can create space and coverages, even when you double him. So he's a guy that has a lot of respect from us. And, you know, hopefully we can limit a lot of that big playmaking ability when he comes here to Jacksonville.
The way the Saints have played without Drew Brees is exceptional. Sean Payton deserves a lot of credit. So does Teddy Bridgewater. And you can see him getting better each week. So you'll have your hands full on Sunday.
You know, it's a big challenge for us, but we love challenges.
Sure.
And that's the kind of team that we want to be. Bring the best. And so, you know, this will be a good opportunity for two teams missing their starting quarterbacks to go at each other and really for us to get back on our feet.
Bring the crowd on Sunday as well to the bank.
Yeah.
Monday nights, Topgolf. Thursday nights, Jaguars All Access with Calais Campbell and guest at Mellow Mushroom in Avondale. We'll see you there Thursday night at 7 o'clock. You know where I'm going? I'm heading to Gardner Minshew's hometown tonight. We'll be there the next couple of days.
Safe travels.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everybody, for coming out.
Thanks for watching the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys.